Hello, my friends. I am back after a 2-week hiatus where I unplugged from everything, including social media, doing videos, writing my victory letter. I got in my car, drove solo across the state of Colorado through Utah, Arizona, Nevada, got to California, visited family and friends, and then enjoyed a beautiful ride back with a very dear friend. And I will tell you, I feel good, especially because I came back to some surprises here in my garden. So, what do you say? Let's grow. First of all, let me say if you are new to the channel, my name is Sherry, and this is my garden here in Zone 6A in Colorado. I love gardening. I've been gardening for about 40 years, and I didn't plan to unplug initially. I was going to a dear friend's wedding, and I don't know, there was just so much pressure to get so much done before I left that I just said, forget it. There's a lot going on in our world right now, a lot of stress that just seems to be sprinkling down on us. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get in my car and I'm just going to enjoy the beauty. I mean, the beauty of the state of Colorado is amazing. Utah, oh, if you've never done the drive, now I live right outside of Boulder, Colorado. So if you've never enjoyed the drive from this area to, you go through the mountains and get into Utah, which is just fantastically beautiful through the desert. And there's a little chunk of Arizona you go through when you're on I-70, and then into Nevada, which is, I don't know, Nevada. There's some goods, nothing against my Nevada friends, but it can get a little mundane during that time. But you get through Vegas, and then pretty soon you're in California. And I just really found myself not grabbing for my phone every 2 seconds to take a picture, or I did take some along the way, but not very many. I didn't post any. I've had people reach out to me like, are you okay? And I am okay. A matter of fact, I am great. I feel revived. And I wanted to share with you just a little bit of what's going on here in my garden. So what I thought we would do today is, first of all, I would share with you some new little babies I got. There's a farm up the road that had an amazing sale yesterday, or they're still having it. Blue Ribbon Farms, a shout out to them. And then so I thought I would share with you some of that, including this beautiful plant. I hope you can see this, that I got in California, that I got to bring home with me. This succulent that is just a beautiful, that I decided I'm going to put with this woolly thyme that I got yesterday. So I've been sitting here plotting and planning how I will take. There's a lot of herbs in here because this time of year, today is we're almost to mid-June, and there's like, so you'll find some holes in your garden, right? Things here and there that you would go, oh, either something dies off or just something never grew again, a perennial that never came up. So that's what I'm excited about, is just these different plants that I got. Some herbs like this pineapple sage. I just love pineapple sage. I got some lemon verbena, which that I love too. Now these are both annuals in our gardens here in Colorado, but I got some cucumbers, which I got this bug bit me about growing a cucumber vine over here by my tomatoes. So I've got that going on. What else did I get I mean, these begonias, please, can you? They're so varied. And look at this one. This is called a Rex begonia. Is that wild or what? And I have some that I brought from inside that didn't do so well. So when I brought them outside, so I'm going to get them replaced. I've got some Tulsi, also known as holy basil. Oh my gosh, the smell of all this. I got some white sage, which is just lovely to have. It's some different kind of Mexican herbs. And so there's just a delightful mixture of plants that I'm going to put in the garden. And what I want to share with you is also the surprises that were already here when I got back. So we're going to walk through the garden, take a little tour of what's going on in Sherry's garden right now. It is just so, it's like I left in the spring and I came back and it's summer. It is full on summer in the garden. And again, some things over here that I can't wait to share with you because they are so beautiful. All right, so let me go ahead. I'm going to go place these where I think they should go. And then I'll share that with you as we go in the garden tour as well. All right, my friends, let's do it. All right. Well, I have been working for the last couple hours, taking stuff out to the front. Zen garden. Most of the begonias went out there. We'll get to that a little bit today, but most of it will be happening next week when I do a whole tour of the Zen garden. So just be sure to subscribe to get notified when our new videos come out. And we normally do them Sunday mornings is our video time. All right, so I'm in my she shed, standing at the doorway of my she shed. This is what I get to see when I look out of my she shed, which is a not so bad view. So let me just, go around this way and see what we've got going on. We've got sunflowers happening in this bed. By the way, all the metal beds come from Epic Gardening, and I'll put a link to them in the description. I love the folks there. They're good quality folks and distribute good quality products. So this is my mint. I have all my mint in here. We had a little what I want to say, we had a little bit of an issue in this bed with the sprinkler, but I think we've got it together. And it's what's so hardy about mint is that even though the top of it died, it's coming through at the end. Grapevine is just going crazy as per usual this time of year. Lots of grapes going on in there. I am totally delighted with what's happening with my sweet peas. I really had doubts about them making it. They looked terrible when I left on my trip, and now they look like there's not much to see because, most of it's going on below the surface making sweet potatoes. But they're looking good, and sweet peas coming up behind it. Over in this barrel and in all of my barrels, I have a variety of tomatoes. And in the weeks ahead, I'll talk about the different tomatoes as they get closer to ripening. I've talked about them in previous videos, but I won't go into them in detail today. I have nasturtium growing here at the bottom. I always like to mix, and marigolds are coming back from last year. I always like to mix my tomatoes with flowers because of pollination, etc. We got carrots happening here in this old sink, and again, more nasturtium coming up with other tomatoes. I do have a volunteer. I had several volunteer sunflowers coming up in here, but I let this one stay. The other ones have gone on their merry way. So yeah, and here's where I put my cucumbers in here. I had this kale that I had with flowers up on the patio, and I brought it out here. This got moved, and then I thought, well, wouldn't it be great to put my 2 little cucumbers I got yesterday and have them grow up here with everything. There's got strawberries in here and just a variety of things. The yarrow, I don't know about you, but yarrow for me just grows like crazy. Every year I chop it back and it still does more and more. One of the chores on my to-do list is to get these volunteer sunflower beds out of here because I think they will hurt the arborvitae, and I don't want them to do that. My Mexican sunflowers are starting to bloom. Yay, hey. This bed has been a challenge, to say the least, trying to get it from sunflowers. I have a lot of milkweed in here too, but slowly but surely it's doing what I want it to do. I've got this chocolate flower too that just has gone crazy, so I need to cut that back a bit as well and get these sunflowers out of here. Got to get them out of here. And I think I have a place for them, but I have never had much luck of transplanting sunflowers. And if you have any tips, please pass them my way, because they usually die back when I try to transplant them, but we'll see. I'm going to give it a shot. This bed, we just did these 2 new pots here this year. I had the pots, but then I got these echinacea coneflowers that I put in there. I'm excited for them to bloom. Here is another volunteer sunflower that has made its way into my zinnia bed, which I will have to definitely remove because, yeah, it's definitely blocking my zinnias. So, but they are all doing quite lovely. This bed is my perennial bachelor buttons, just which is typically an annual, but they reseed, and so this time of year we'll have probably another week or so of the bachelor buttons. The bees absolutely love it before we say goodbye to them, and then the coneflowers will be able to really shine echinacea more there too. Just a variety of things coming up in this bed. Black-eyed Susans are in here, Joe Pileweed, yarrow. This is a cross something. Can't remember what that's called, but it's a cross something. So yeah, and then the tomatoes. Tomatoes are doing great. The marigolds have just really given them a pop of color. But we are trying these new, we cut down our big vine. Decided we didn't want to do it this year. I decided. Ed wasn't real happy with me, but then he was like, well, let's do this. So we did, and they're coming up good. Biggest thing I got to watch for right now is just the lower leaves coming down too far, hitting the dirt. My thumbnail gets a lot of work out here in the garden. Or there might be things like this, um, where the lower leaves just don't look so great. And I will just go in and just clip them back, and it gives more health to the rest of the plant, to be sure. Yeah, just everything is. Look at this, my salvia. One of my chores is to cut the salvia back. It is just definitely getting too big. It's pretty much spent, and I want to get another flush of flowers, so I will cut that back. Look at the flower from this hosta. It's a fairly new hosta, and I love the flower of that. I love hosta flowers. This is more my shade bed. It gets a little bit of sun, but it's right underneath our big old ash tree here. So it is more of my shade. I've got some heuchera hostas. What is this called? Something. I'll put the name on here. But it just came up. The seed came from somewhere, and yeah, everything is just. This is also one that just keeps coming back in a different place every year. Um, at first, I loved it, then I hated it, now I love it again. Do you have that with any of your plants? I do. This is Still Bee is new this year. More hostas. And one of the things that I decided to do is to take we had a grapevine over here, and I actually loved the grapes from that. But they were few and far between, and it just became more of a hassle. And we do get Japanese beetles, and they love the vines. And so I decided to let it go. And I've got sweet peas coming up instead. I got the book Sweet Pea School. I absolutely love it. And it got me all excited about sweet peas. And here is my lettuce bed. Unfortunately, some little buggy, I'm going to do some investigation about this. There it is right there. I can see it. Has been munching on my arugula, but everything else, chamomile. Look at the chamomile. I just sprinkled a ton of chamomile seeds here, and now I will have a ton of chamomile. I love chamomile in the garden. It ends up everywhere, but I don't care. There's some things, I don't know about you, but I just don't care. Over here, I'm going to try this out. I found these yesterday at the farm, and it's called Lacy Blue Self-Heal Prunella. And it gets these pretty purple flowers. So I'm going to put this here. This is the only bed out here in the garden that does not have irrigation to it. So I have to be somewhat careful about what I put in here. Some things make it and are hardy. Funny, I had that sage there for years. This guy here had it for years. Just I never know what's gonna pop up. But I want to share with you, I'll share with you my surprise here in just a minute, but uh, the big surprise that just delighted me. Here's a lemon verbena. I'm just thinking I'm going to put these and the pineapple sage I'm going to put here in the herb bed. I've also got this tarragon. Last year it had a rough year. I've had this tarragon for, gosh, probably 15 years, this plant. Last year it kind of got, I don't know what happened to it, but it wasn't happy. This year it's happy again, but I definitely need to cut it back. I make an herb blend out of it that I love. And now, today I just got this. It's a Mexican, or yesterday, Mexican tarragon. I've got the lemon thyme. Can never have too much thyme, can we? This is if anybody knows what this is too, this is a sweet pea vine that is like a perennial, and it's crazy. I cut it back so much, and it's starting to bloom, and so I don't know where the heck it came from or why, but it did. This bed here has a bunch of, well, right now it has a bunch of well, this heuchera. Look at how happy this heuchera is. Love, love, love the color of the coral bells on that. And it's a lot of things coming up, getting ready to come up. Dahlias are here. This sunflower is massive already that I did not get to, but some veronica and more dahlias. And then this new plant here that I got yesterday is called Mardi Gras sneezeweed helenium. Helenium, isn't that pretty? I thought it would go in here because my um, poppies are about done, and I've moved a lot of things around in this bed. I do want to get some kind of a thornless climbing rose. If you know of what you can suggest, I think would be pretty up this trellis. But yeah, I've got daisies that are coming up, Shasta daisies, lamb's wool that is just crazy, and but this every year just grows right here. It's where it belongs. The other thing that doesn't belong here that I have been pulling up left and right are all these roots from the trees here. We have done the horrible mistake many years ago of putting aspens at the end of our garden. Not a wise choice. Not a wise choice. My mother's bed is, the lavender bed is gone. The geranium is just taking over on this. That is a perennial geranium, and it's just, I got to cut that back too because it's just getting so big. Peppers, they're doing okay, but not as good as I would hope, so I got to give them some attention and love. But here's where I'm coming to the big surprise. So when I got back, this is my wildflower bed, and these are larkspur that have been coming each year, and they're purple. It's just beautiful. But look at this Canterbury bells. They were part of the wild seed mix, and they were kind of coming up, and I was like, is that a weed? What is that? And when I came home, these were bloomed just like this in my Mary bed, which seems so appropriate to have these right above Mary. So good, good, good. And I will share with you, these come from botanical interests. They have these shake 'em seed shaker, and that's all I did is just put them, sprinkled them in. I've got some sweet williams that are coming up. Let me see if I can get them in here. Sweet williams, and just all kinds of course, sunflowers, but I've got all kinds of lovelies coming up in here that I'm excited about. So that was really one of my biggest surprises coming home, was these Canterbury bells, which I have tried to grow from seed purposefully and have not done so good with it, and never did they turn out like this. They're just absolutely gorgeous. So that is a lovely surprise. And to have all these coming up and everything, delphiniums are coming up, the heucheras, I just love they didn't really flower that good because of our crazy weather, but their leaves are just magnificent. Magnificent, can I say that? Some more daisies coming up in here, and yeah, that is about it that I'm going to show you for today. I don't want to keep going on. There's a lot more in these beds, up on the patio. Here is the new decks that we just got put on. This smaller one that's just outside my office got put on while I was gone, and that is just amazing. The decks that were there were probably 25 years old, and this is our main deck now too that got replaced a few weeks back. So there you have it. All right, that is a wrap. And I really want to leave you with two thoughts. Number one, when you go traveling, unplug. It is the best thing to do, especially if you're plugged in all the time. If you're not plugged in all the time, well, maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. But what is most important is that when you come home, that you feel just as great gratitude and love for where you live as you do for the things that you see on the road. And the second thing is, and I say this a lot, is that when you grow a garden with intention, belief, and love, you cannot help but to grow yourself. And that is what I wish for you, my friend. Here's a few more little takes from the pots around. And again, next week, we'll do more of the Zen garden up front and show you what's happening up there. Thanks so much for being with me. We'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks for growing with us, and we will see you next time. And in the meantime, be sure to like, comment, let us know what really resonated for you in this video, and then of course be sure to subscribe at no cost to you and be updated when we have new videos up to